I know what time it is. It's hammer time. Let's go. Let's go. It's hammer time. You know what time it is. I know what time it is. It's hammer time. Let's roll. Hey guys, good afternoon. Welcome back to the channel, United Red Devils 20 on YouTube. Hope you're all having a great Wednesday afternoon. Hope you're all looking forward to the end of this week, and hope you're all looking forward to another brand new weekend in May 2023 this year. First of all, to be a massive favour for me, hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. That is United Red Devils 20 on YouTube. Please subscribe to the channel and to the community if you are new. And share the video, hit the tweet button, hit the retweet button. Remember to always put that notification bell on at all times to receive dedicated content right throughout the rest of 2023 on United Red Devils 20 on YouTube for more Fortnite, Hogwarts Legacy, Kingdom Hearts 4, FIFA 23 Career Mode, Rocket League, Football Manager, and much more brand new stuff planned for the rest of 2023 on United Red Devils 20 on YouTube. So please keep subscribing to the channel and to the community. Good afternoon to all you legends. Good afternoon to all you legendary people. And welcome to the preview, the 2022-2023 Emirates FA Cup final preview. Manchester City versus Manchester United. Guardiola versus Ten Hag. Blue versus red. The Etihad versus Old Trafford. Haaland versus Rashford. The Manchester Derby, the first Manchester Derby in final in the FA Cup for decades and decades before. We have the ultimate game, feasting of eyes and viewers across the globe, across the planet. It's the 2023 Emirates FA Cup final, Manchester City versus Manchester United. This is the preview, and welcome to this preview for the game. And this game has to be simply nothing more than a Manchester United win. We have to stop Manchester City dominating this season. We need to stop Manchester City walking away with the treble this season. We cannot afford to let Manchester City win 3 trophies this season. We simply cannot afford to let that happen. We cannot let Manchester City beat us in that FA Cup final on Saturday afternoon. We need to win this game. We need to lift our second trophy this season. We need to stop Manchester City and Guardiola's team of knights and realms and kings and queens of winning another trophy and slamming the treble celebrations right in the face of the Man United fans and the Man United supporters. We have to put a stop to Man City this weekend. We cannot afford to let them win the treble. We cannot afford to lose this game. We need to lift our second trophy. We need to lift our second trophy this season. We need to get our second title under our new manager, Ten Hag, in season 1. And we need to show that Manchester United are back as the best club in Manchester. We need to start ruling Manchester again. Man United need to step it up on Saturday. We need to win this trophy. We need to win this game. And those players better be bloody up for it. They know the task and they know the duel and they know the duel they are going to be on Saturday. It is going to be a tough game for Man United. The form of Erling Haaland and Man City has been, quite frankly, unbelievable this season. Manchester City have been on another planet. They're on another world. And Manchester City have been an absolute domination of pure footballing talent for the last 3 years in a row. And this season of all, they've got an opportunity of winning 3 trophies. Something Man United last did in 1999. We cannot afford to let this happen this weekend. Man United know the importance of stopping Manchester City's run. They know the importance of stopping Erling Haaland. And they know the performance. They have to stop Pep Guardiola's men walking away with this trophy of the weekend. We can't afford to lose this game. Man United are going to have to take the game to Man City. We are going to have to stop the dominance. We need to dominate the game. We need to put Manchester City away. And we need to stop Manchester City showing to the world that they are the most dominant team in the world of football at the moment. Because on other levels, Manchester City at the moment are the best team in the world. They are on another level compared to everyone else in Europe. They're on the verge of winning their first Champions League title when they'll absolutely batter Inter Milan in the final. And they're on the verge of winning the FA Cup as well. And Man United have to stop it. We need to put Man City's brakes on. We need to keep the handbrake on. And we need to stop Man City winning this FA Cup. Because otherwise, we are not going to hear the last of it if they win the treble this season. We are not going to hear the last of it when they win 3 trophies. We are not going to stop hearing those Manchester City fans and Man City supporters celebrating their treble. They are going to go on about it for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks, and they're going to keep mentioning it towards Man United, and they're going to mention it towards the fans. They'll keep mentioning it towards the supporters, and they think they're going to be the big I am in Manchester this season. Well, Man United know what to do. You stop Man City winning that trophy. Go and lift the FA Cup. Go and give those red Man United fans and supporters something to cheer about, something to sing and song and dance about. Go and put a performance in that is going to show that you are back to your domination, because Man United are on the way back. We've won the Carabao Cup this season. We've got top four. We're back in the Champions League for next season as well. Man United have to stop Man City on Saturday. I do not want to see Man City walking away with another trophy. We cannot afford to let this happen. And UK Paul, one of our subscribers in the chat, saying, what's your score prediction on Saturday? We're going to go in deep depth guide into what I think is going to happen on Saturday. It's going to be a tough game for Manchester United. It's going to be a very, very tough game for Man United to win. It's going to be a tough game for Man United to lift this trophy. But Man United know what needs to be done. They know the task at hand is to stop Man City winning the treble. And especially when we've beaten at home once already this season in the league, I think Man United can do it again. I think Man United have got the form and the players at the moment to keep doing it. I think our last 4 Premier League wins in a row against Bournemouth, Wolves, Chelsea and Fulham has put Man United a good step to try and win this trophy on Saturday. And I think Man United are going to be up for it. I think the squad and the morale and the confidence is there for those Man United players to step up the game and take the game to Man City. They know what they have to do, and they simply have to win the FA Cup. And I think if you win 2 trophies in one season under Eric Ten Hag, a new manager that no one else expected, I think, that's only a good thing for Man United fans and Man United supporters. 2 trophies in one season, which, has been surprised that no one else expected Man United to do it. And I do believe now that we've got the players to do it. I believe we've got the manager to do it. And I do believe we are going to have the confidence to be able to take the game against Man City, especially knowing the atmosphere, what is going to be at Wembley. The atmosphere is going to be absolutely electric. The fans and supporters on both sides of the Manchester side of both teams and both fans and both set of supporters, they know the task is to outplay each other and outsing each other. And I think Man United have to take the game to Man City. And also, UK Paul's put in the chat, Diego Dalot has signed a new contract till 2028. Yeah, I think we're going to talk about that as well in this preview, what this means for the right-back situation on Saturday afternoon and what I think the team is going to be against Man City for the FA Cup final. I just want Man United to be able to put a statement of intent out there that we've let Man City basically dominate the league for the last 3 years. No one else has been able to challenge them. No one else has been able to catch them. And no one else has really been able to compete with Man City. I mean, you look at their bench, you look at the players they've got available. Man City have got quality in every position. You look at their first team, you look at their bench options, and that is a team that is scary. That Manchester City team is something that I think, you have to look at it from a perspective that they've got the best team at the moment. They've got the best players. They've got the best manager. They've got the best owners, and their recruitment is on a completely different level compared to everybody else. And I think Man United know that we need to start living up to the expectations. We need to start challenging again. We need to start being consistent, winning trophies every single season. And I think the task for Eric Ten Hag on Saturday is to go with a good defensive plan of trying to stop Erling Haaland from putting Man City 1-0 up early on. We simply have to take the game. And I think Man United have got the dominance to do it. I think our last 4 league wins in the league has been important to give the players the morale, the confidence, and the positivity to take into the game on Saturday afternoon against Man City in that FA Cup final. And I think the players will be up for it. I think they know they probably know what's up. The task is here to do. They probably know what the expectation is to go and win another trophy. And I think if we can win 2 trophies in season 1 and be back in the Champions League, I think you've got a class that is a very, very successful season for Man United Football Club, especially when the expectation level at the end of the season was try and somehow get back into Europe, get back into the Champions League and try and somehow win 1 or 2 trophies. And I think, even from my perspective, I didn't expect Man United to be in this FA Cup final. I felt, the results and the draws we've had kindly in the FA Cup this season has put Man United a step forward. And I think that's been a very, very positive impact that we've been able to deliver in the FA Cup. Obviously, we only just scraped past Fulham in the semi-finals, and obviously now we've got into that quarter-final, and then we had Brighton in the semi-final. Obviously, we only scraped past Brighton on penalties, and we had to take it all the way to a penalty shootout just to be in this final for Saturday. And I think, I'm looking forward to the game. I'm looking forward to the match. I think both sides know that the task is to beat each other. I think, Manchester United need this trophy more than Man City, in my opinion. I do believe Man City are focusing their intent more on winning the Champions League. They know that they want to lift their first Champions League title. Obviously, come back when they've won 3, because obviously Man United have won more than them. So I think, Man United have got an opportunity to put a statement down on paper that, the brilliance of Erik ten Hag, what he's done in season 1 has been nothing more than miraculous. I think ten Hag will go with a plan that, if we can beat Man City at home in the league, there's no reason why not we can't beat them in the FA Cup final. Man United know they're going to have to start the game well. They know they're going to have to pressure Manchester City into making mistakes. We need to dominate the ball. We need to dominate possession, and we need to keep Erling Haaland quiet. I think if Man City didn't have Erling Haaland this season, I didn't expect Man City to be anywhere near a Premier League title. I think if Erling Haaland was in that team and he didn't put the goals in what he's put in this season, which has been a phenomenal start. I mean, Erling Haaland at the moment, for me, is the best footballer on planet Earth. I think he's an absolute phenomenal beast of a player. I can't believe the goal scoring record he's hit in one season for Man City at putting over 50 goals is something to be really, really proud of. And I think Man City fans are going to have to count themselves lucky that, Erling Haaland has been their main player, their main threat, and their main goal scorer that has put the ball in the net for Man City, because I don't think if Erling Haaland went in that Man City team, I wouldn't expect Man City to be in the position they are in today, and especially the backup solution they've got in Julian Alvarez, Jack Grealish, Mahrez, Foden. Man City's squad is just phenomenal, and you have to respect Pep Guardiola for the job he's done. Has been nothing more than a complete and utter rebuild at Man City. I mean, Man City decades and decades ago weren't even a football club. Man City couldn't compete like this. Man City were nowhere near us. And you look at it now, and Man City on a point of pinpointing at the moment that they are the best team in the league. They are the best team in Europe. They are the best team in the league. They are the best team in the FA Cup this season. They've put teams and likes aside, and I think we've got to count ourselves lucky that it would have been nice if the other FA Cup semi-final would have been Sheffield United against Brighton, and we would have taken on Man City. We could have knocked them out, but I think from a viewer's perspective, it's going to be a very, very tough game. It's going to be both sides are up for it. Both sides' intent is to go for the ball, go for every tackle, go for every shot, and to play consistently throughout that 90 minutes. And obviously, UK Pulse also put the chat, Man United have won Man City in the Premier League. We can do it again. Exactly. There's no reason why not. We can't take the game to Man City again. Man City can prove they are not unbeatable. They have been beaten on several occasions in the league this season. And I do believe Manchester United can do it. I think we're the only side, apart from Brentford, this season to have beaten Man City in the league. And I think that's a very, very important stat to take into the game that, our form at Old Trafford has been produced by winning that home game against Man City in the league. And I think that's why, Man United have gone 29 home games unbeaten this season in the league. And I think, I think beating Man City in at home, that was a statement that, Man United are coming back. We're on our way back onto Erik ten Hag. We are delivering football that is a feast for the eyes. We are delivering a positive attacking football, scoring a lot of world-class goals, and some of the play we are producing on the Old Trafford pitch, especially away from home as well. Some of the football is absolutely glorious from Erik ten Hag's men, and I think that's down to the manager's tactics, that's down to his formation, that's down to his squad rotation. I think Erik ten Hag has got to be proud of himself for what he's achieved in one season. No one expected to win the Carabao Cup. No one expected top 4. No one expected Champions League football, and I don't think no one else expected us to reach his FA Cup final. I think most fans set ourselves that Man United are going to finish outside top 4. They're going to be back in Europa League again next season. I think we've proved a lot of people wrong. I think Man United are starting to prove a lot of people wrong again this season. And another comment from UK Paul in the chat, he said that Martial is injured for Saturday. Yeah, I'm not surprised yet again. We are missing Anthony Martial for the game on Saturday. Another injury-prone striker that's got more injuries than a bloody paper cut. Basically, Anthony Martial has turned into Phil Jones 2.0. Martial has torn his hamstring. He's out for the game for Saturday. And I think, what? That home game against Fulham is probably going to be his last ever game in a Man United shirt. Martial shouldn't even be at this club. He shouldn't even be in the team. He shouldn't be in the starting lineup, and he doesn't even deserve a place on the bench. Martial should have been sold permanently in the summer of 2022 in that transfer window. And yet again, we've lost a key important player for Saturday. But unfortunately, Martial can't really produce anything in 90 minutes anyway. So in my opinion, I don't think Martial would be such a big miss like he's going to be. I think there's a lot of hype on his shoulders. I think there's a lot of praise. There's a lot of expectations that, Martial is going to be able to turn this around at Man United, and he's a future player and hopefully will be the backup Man United next season. I completely disagree. Martial won't be at Man United next season. He's a complete and utter flop. For me, he's not produced at Man United ever since we brought him. And you look at the injuries he's had this season. This is his 7th different injury that has cost Martial his place in the FA Cup final. I'm not surprised with Martial. I think he's lazy. I think his attitude stinks, and he gets really, really annoyed when he gets brought off the pitch for a substitution in the second half of every game this season. I think that, for me, is a negative impact on the team. That's a negative impact on these players in this squad. And I think, that's not an important message to send out to your manager, that you're getting pissed off with his changes, with his tactics. And if you can't deal with that, Martial, he shouldn't even be at the club anyway. For me, I think we've got to sell him now. For me, he would have been an important key player for Saturday. But you know what? We're probably going to have to get on and do it. We're going to probably have to try and produce what we can try and produce miracles with the players we've got available up front, because obviously we are missing a load of key players as it stands at the moment for Saturday. We've got a lot of key players out. And another comment from UK Paul in the chat said, wonder if Lisandro Martinez will play on Saturday. I don't think he will. I don't think Lisandro Martinez is fit enough. He's not even back in training yet. So I think, we are weeks away from Lisandro Martinez being back in the Man United shirt. I don't think we're going to see Lisandro Martinez back in the Man United shirt till next season. It is a big blow. We could have done with having Lisandro Martinez and Rafael Varane, our 2 key centre-backs, both fit for Saturday, and we've only got one available in Varane, and it'll probably, next one will probably be Victor Lindelof. And I think, if Lisandro Martinez was fit and he didn't suffer that horrific ankle injury in the Champions League, and I think it was in the Betis first home leg, wasn't it, that, or was it the Sevilla game that, he suffered that ankle injury, and ever since then, Lisandro Martinez has been out injured ever since that injury he suffered in that game. That was in Europa League, and I think, Lisandro Martinez at the moment is a big miss defensively. I think, we are conceding way too many goals in our last few games. We've conceded now 1 against Chelsea, 1 against Fulham. And I think, as a whole, we need to start keeping more clean sheets. It is important that we keep a clean sheet Saturday. I do believe both sides are going to score, because that is the momentum from both sets of players and both sets of squad and both sets of managers. I think, both teams are going to be massively up for this game. They know the task. They know what's at stake here. And they both know they want to put each other both down in that final. There is going to be a winner. There is going to be a loser. Both sides both want to win the FA Cup. And I think, if Man City do, they're only going to go on and win the treble. And like I said, Man United have got to stop them making it happen. We need to make sure this history book is never, ever going to be rewritten. I think, United have got a plan to do it. And I think, you're going to have to go with the squad I think Ten Hag's got available to him. That front three, I think there's going to be a lot of changes now with the injury to Anthony Martial. I think the midfield's probably going to change up as well. Also on Saturday, and I think the defence as well is probably going to be the same back four that probably featured against Fulham. I think, if you're looking from a bigger point of view, I think some of the news that's come out today that, Diego Dalot has been given a new contract. I can't justify why we've given him a new contract. I can't understand why we're keeping him for the next 4 years. For me, Diego Dalot has never improved as a Man United player. For me, Diego Dalot doesn't have a long-term future at this football club. And I think for me, giving Dalot a new contract is unjustified. He's not really improved under Erik ten Hag at all this season. I've seen inconsistent crap from Dalot in several home games, as well as away games in several of the competitions that United have featured in this season. I wouldn't play Dalot anywhere near a Man United shirt on Saturday. For me, he's never going to be good enough. He can't put a decent ball into box, can't defend defensively. His speed and his agility is nowhere there when he's got a quick player running him at the right back position. And I think Dalot shouldn't be at Man United. I'm sorry. I think he's massively overrated. He's massively overhyped. And I think some of his performances don't live up to the expectation and the praise that he gets. I think there's a lot of blindness getting seen in certain games, that certain players get too much praise, they get too much confidence boost, and their egos only get bigger and bigger at Manchester United with a lot of praise that are given by pundits and ex-players. And another comment from UK Paul in the chat said, Garnacho is a beast. He is our player at United again. There's been news on Neymar. If we get these new owners, Neymar is coming to United. And I think, there is going to be a lot of change in the summer at Manchester United Football Club. I think realistically we need, 16 brand new players. I think that is doable with the money I think we're going to have to invest. For me, I think after we win the FA Cup, I think we'll get big news what is happening with the ownership. Well, I think we're all hoping that the Qataris buy the club, and I'm hoping that is all what we get, because that would be a good thing to happen straight after the FA Cup final. But it wouldn't surprise me, if Sir Jim Ratcliffe somehow still ends up buying the football club, and he buys it on debt. No new stadium, Old Trafford gets rebuilt, and I think there won't be much investment being put in that team in the summer, and we'll soon see Man United do things on a shoestring budget again. I think everything is heaping on what happens in this FA Cup final. I think if we lose it, Man United will leak their PR team like a sieve. All the holes in that sieve, Man United will leak out what's going to happen with the ownership then. And I also believe if we do win the FA Cup, I think, we're going to have to wait weeks and weeks again to find out what's happening with the ownership. I think, the club is in turmoil behind the scenes. I think the people above Ten Hag are putting the future at stake. They're putting the summer transfer window at stake as well. And I think we need news sooner rather than later. We cannot afford to keep holding on like this, waiting for news. We need players in the summer. We need a massive, massive rebuild. We need players in to rebuild this team in the summer. People say to me, you can't spend 500 to 600 million. I completely disagree. I think that is the type of money that is going to have to be invested in the summer. That is, for me, a realistic amount, because if Chelsea can do it, there's no reason why Man United can't do it as well. So, I think everything's pinpointing to what happens on Saturday. I think United have got two options. One, if we lose, they'll leak it on use PR spin. Or two, we win the FA Cup and we have to wait weeks again. It depends on what happens Saturday. I think those are the two pinpoints for me that you're going to have to focus on. It depends what happens in that final. Either United get absolutely destroyed and they get annihilated, or we win the FA Cup and the game goes all the way extra time. It goes all the way to penalties. And it wouldn't surprise me if that happens. I think you look at that Brighton game, we should have got the game done in 90 minutes. And I think, the players know we can't play like that again. That was, a terrible, terrible performance from those players, from that squad in that FA Cup semi-final against Brighton, knowing we couldn't put the ball in the net for 120 minutes, and we had to take our match all the way to penalties just to find the result that we all wanted. And I think for me, we cannot afford to let that go all the way on Saturday. We need to get this job done in 90 minutes. If we can get a good first early goal, and then in the second half we find a second, then find maybe a lucky third, the game will be done. We lift that FA Cup. The fans and supporters of Manchester United Football Club will be happy, will be thrilled, will be ecstatic that we've won yet another trophy. But Man City know that Man United are vulnerable in several key positions in that team. Manchester City will spot the defensive woes. They'll spot the negativity in the midfield. And as for their attack, knowing Martial is now out injured, what worries me, knowing that Martial isn't available for Saturday, it would not surprise me if they end up playing Weghorst up front, Rashford on the left and Sancho on the right. It would not surprise me if we do that in abundance, because, I don't think we're going to risk Anthony. Anthony is still out injured, which looks like a really bad ankle injury. But apparently there is rumours that, Anthony might be available for Saturday for the FA Cup final against Man City, but it depends on how quick that ankle injury heals up for Anthony. I think, he's been, for me, one of United's best players that we've ever purchased. I think he's been one of United's best ever players that we've brought all year. And I think, in my opinion, that without Anthony in that team, we are a lot worse team. Without Anthony's goal distribution, without Anthony's possession and the skills with the ball, without the assist he gets in several games and some of the great goals that he's put in the United net this season, I think we are missing a big, big key player for Saturday. And it would be nice if, Anthony somehow becomes available for Saturday. But I don't think Ten Hag is going to risk playing players that are not fully fit to be able to play in the United game on Saturday. And another comment from UK Paul said, is there any news on Casemiro? Is he leaving or staying? There is no rumours on Casemiro leaving. That is whatever's being told and fed through that media to tell you that, his future's up in the air. That's completely bullshit. I wouldn't believe it. Casemiro's here long-term at Man United, and I think he came here to help rebuild and fix this squad. And I think, Casemiro will probably start again on Saturday. And I think, for me, it wouldn't surprise me if Ten Hag changes this squad up massively on Saturday. I think, if, Anthony's not available, will he end up switching Bruno Fernandes out to the right wing? Will he go Weghorst up front and Rashford on the left and then play a midfield three of Casemiro, Fred and Eriksen and put Fernandes on the right wing? Which for me, I think we've tried that and methored that so many times in several big games this season. And I think, it simply hasn't worked from a fan perspective, from a supporter's point of view. I don't think logically it makes any sense putting Fernandes on the right wing when he's not a right winger. He's a centre attacking midfielder with Eriksen. And I think, Eriksen and Casemiro are a lot more comfortable knowing they've got Fernandes next to them in that midfield situation. I think, if Fred was to get into that United team on Saturday, I think Fred would cause a lot of problems in that midfield. And I think, after the last few games, Fred has been shocking in a Man United shirt. If the rumours are true that, Fred is going to be sold in the summer, I would jump at that a heartbeat. I think Fred is very, very vulnerable in that midfield. I think he's been a very, very bad signing ever since we brought him from Shakhtar Donetsk, especially when we paid them 50 million and Shakhtar Donetsk was sat there laughing and took all that 50 million to their bank. They didn't even think Fred was even worth 20. So at the end of the day, I think, a lot of these players' futures are going to be decided after Saturday, depending if a lot of these players are in the team or on the bench or not even in the matchday squad. I think a lot of futures have probably been resolved already. I think a lot of deadwood is going to be cleared out as well. I don't think Ten Hag will take risk on fringe players playing in that final because those players you can't trust will simply let Eric Ten Hag down. Another comment from UK Pornajak, do you think Garnacho will start on Saturday? I think he's probably going to have to. I wouldn't risk playing Weghorst up front as the backup to Martial's injury. I mean, Martial's injuries have been a disgrace this season. Injury number 7. 7 injuries in one season. It begs belief about Martial that, yet again, he's pulled his hamstring after Ten Hag was doing his message to the fans and supporters in the last home game against Fulham when we won 2-1. And Martial has done his hamstring. It just makes no mathematical sense. It isn't logic, but it doesn't surprise me with Martial. But I wouldn't risk Weghorst. I think for me, that has probably been a complete and utter disgrace as a signing in the first place. We should have went nowhere near Weghorst anyway at Manchester United Football Club. That has been probably the worst ever signing this club has made in history. 2 goals in nearly 20 games for Weghorst. That has been utterly pathetic, utterly frustrating and utterly useless. That Iron Giant, the BFG's best friend in Weghorst, what a joke of a signing. And I'm praying to hope that we do not make it permanent in the summer. But you know what? It probably wouldn't surprise me because this is typically Manchester United. If we can't get the 2 strikers in, we'll go back in for Weghorst. And you know what? I think logically that would anger a lot of the fans. I think that would anger the fan base. And I wouldn't start against Man City because every game I've watched Weghorst in a Man United shirt, he's simply not been able to produce. He's not been able to put the ball in the net. And I think, what happens from here is that, we have to start off our 4 strong front 3. And Talent Williams, Umarin in the chat is please, is there hope for Greenwood in a Man United team? I think that's another story. I think that's another topic that has got to be discussed before the end of the season. What is going to happen with the situation for Mason Greenwood? And that's a great comment about Greenwood as well. Is there any hope for him? And Talent Williams Umarin, please subscribe to the channel and the community if you're new, my friend. Please subscribe today if you are new, and remember to hit the like button on this video as well. And I think that's a great comment. I think that's something that we've got to discuss in the reaction on Saturday evening. I think, does Greenwood have a future at Man United? I think we'll discuss that on Saturday. But it's a great point, and I'm going to write that down that, does Mason Greenwood get back in this team? I think it's an interesting topic. I think it's an interesting point of view and an interesting comment. I think, we've got to discuss on Saturday. And, please subscribe Talent Williams in the chat. It's a very, very great comment. I think that has to be a discussion about that in the reaction Saturday, which, we all are hoping that it's going to be a positive one. It's going to be a great one for Man United fans and Man United supporters. And I think, as a whole, that has got to be sorted after this FA Cup final, as well as the ownership. I think that's the two biggest points I think we're going to have to take after that final. One is the ownership, and two is the future of Mason Greenwood. It's going to be a lot of typical debate about what to do. There's going to be a lot of ifs, buts, and maybes, yes and no answers to that question. And I think, it will be resolved after what happens in this FA Cup final, which United win or United lose. Simple as that, really. We can't afford to go to extra time. We can't afford to go to penalties. We need to finish Manchester City off in that final. And I think Man City's kettle of fish is all in one basket. They know that they want the Champions League more than the FA Cup. But I think Pep Guardiola is trying to rewrite history. We can't let that happen because Man United's history then is completely blown out of the water. So, let's see what happens. I'm hoping that Man United are going to be up for it. I really, really hope those players know that what's on the line here. Don't disappoint the fans. Don't anger the supporters either. I think that's a big, big point that, let's see what happens. And I think, Man United are going to have to up their tempo. They're going to have to up their style of play. And they're going to have to up their game as a whole. I think that's what they're going to have to do. That is what Man United is simply going to have to produce. It's going to be a tough, tough game. Both sets of fans and supporters know what's on the line, as well as the players, as well as the squad, the owners of both football clubs, the manager, the coaching staff. Pep Guardiola is trying to rewrite history. Let's hope that does not happen on Saturday, because Man City, I think then, if they win the FA Cup and then they win the Champions League, it worries me long term where the hell this is going. But, I think Man United know that they've got a job to do here. And, let's see what happens. I think, I think the comment that UK Paul made in the chat, like I said about the Weghorst situation, I wouldn't play him and maybe start Sancho on the right, Rashford down the middle, and then maybe start Garnacho on the left. Maybe that's the best three options we go with up front because, losing Anthony is a big, big blow. Obviously, we don't know how long he's going to be out for. I don't think he'll be fit for the final. I can't see Anthony anywhere near a United shot or even a United bench place, knowing how bad the ankle injury is, especially with him being on crutches. So at the Fulham home game. So I don't think he'll feature either. I think it probably end up putting Sancho on the right wing. And I think, Sancho played very, very well against Fulham. I thought, that was probably one of his best United performances ever in a lifetime since he's been at the club. Yeah. I think, that is a big, big point for Jadon Sancho is that I think if he can step it up against Man City, against his former employees, a club that let him go to Borussia Dortmund, maybe Jadon Sancho can do some damage to that Man City back four. But that Man City team in every position are just so defensively strong. There is not one weak player in that Manchester City set of players, the set of squad, or even in that Manchester City system. There is no weak point to Man City. They've got strong backup after strong backup. That Man City team are trying to rewrite the whole game this season. And I think let's not make that happen. Let's try and see what their momentum is. What do Man City want more? Do they want the FA Cup more? Or do they want the Champions League more? I think that's a very, very good topic of discussion as well, that, Man City are putting their team on the line as well as Man United. Both clubs know that futures are going to be decided here once and for all. Set of players, their squad, and their futures of what's going to happen in the summer transfer window of 2023. And I think, if Garnacho plays, I think he could cause Man City several threats. I think, Garnacho against Chelsea was phenomenal. Against Bournemouth, he was fantastic. Fulham, he was great as well. There's a lot of positives in that Man United team at the moment that are producing on the pitch, that are producing the results, are producing the goals. I think our last 4 games, we put 1 past Bournemouth, 2 past Wolves, we put 4 past Chelsea, and we put 2 past Fulham. We've scored 9 goals in our last 4 games, which is a very, very good positive impact that the United players have finally found a result of putting the ball back in the net. But I worry the injuries that are going to cost us on Saturday are probably going to cost us the game. I think, like I said about Anthony and also Anthony Martial, I think Donny van der Beek ain't available either. Sabitzer isn't available. Lissandro Martinez isn't available either. There's a lot of players that we could have done with at this point of this time of this game. We could have really done with having a full fit squad for this FA Cup final because the tempo and the atmosphere for the whole 90 minutes is going to be It's going to be electric. Both sides are going to be fighting for this head to toe. There is going to be twists, there's going to be turns, there's going to be errors, there's going to be mistakes. And I'm hoping Man United don't cost themselves on Saturday. They've got a huge opportunity here to win a second trophy that no one expected in one season under Eric Ten Hag. All those doubters, all those haters saying Ten Hag is not the right manager, he's not the right choice, he should be nowhere near a Man United job, a manager's job in the first place. Well, I think, Ten Hag is sitting a lot of doubters down, a lot of haters down, and Ten Hag is producing results that no one expected at Man United season, including myself. I was expecting no Champions League football, no top four, no FA Cup final, and I didn't really expect Man United to win the Carabao Cup. So I think, I've been surprised by the change of United this season under this manager. But I'm not surprised because Ten Hag has come in with the system. He's come in with a no shit or no bollocks excuse style. He ain't going to take no crap. He ain't going to take no excuses. He ain't going to take any bullshit. He's here to do a job. He's here to manage his team. He's here to get us back to the top. And I think, we are so close to seeing the best Man United side ever since we last won the league. It's been 10 years now since we last won the Premier League. Yeah, it's a joke. Yeah, it's a disgrace. But that is because we've been dwindling in the weeds because of poor owners, poor ownership. The board are a complete bunch of muppets as well. So there's a lot to fix at Man United, but I think we're getting close to having resolutions. And I think, if we can lift that FA Cup, and I'm feeling confident we can take the game to Man City and we can lift that trophy, let's hope, the reaction on Saturday evening is a bloody positive one. I do not want to be sat here disappointed, angry, frustrated that we've lost the FA Cup, but both sides are going to be up for this. Guardiola will get his players fired up for it. So will Ten Hag. Both sets of players will know what's at stake. And I think United are going to have to try and dominate both sets of play, not just in the first half, but in the second half as well. And I'm hoping Man United's game plan is to take this all to extra time and then take it to penalties. I do not want to see a repeat of that FA Cup semi-final against Brighton. Let's hope it doesn't go as far as that. Let's hope United get the job done and they manage to find the goals and they find the consistency that is needed in 90 minutes. And like I said, if we can score the early goal, the positivity and the confidence will be up. But if Man United concede and then they concede again, the heads will be down, they'll down, and the players will give up, and I think they'll surrender and wave the white flag. I think, Man United against Man City, it's always going to be one of those games that, there's going to be a surprise winner. There's going to be a good luck, a luck of goals. And I think, we can take the game to Man City. I don't fear them now as much as I used to. Man City are beatable. Have proved that this season, especially when you can't even beat Brentford away and you can't even beat us away from home. So Man City are beatable, and Man United have got it in them to do it. They've got them in it to do it. And I think, let's hope, they can do it. And we've also got Mackay, Emirates RL in the chat. He says, "Hi United, hello to you. Please subscribe to the channel if you're new, by the way. I'd really appreciate it if you could do that for me today. Subscribe to the channel and the community if you're new, and welcome, my friend. You're very welcome to the channel and the community. I'm just hoping this is a good weekend. I'm just hoping, it's going to be one of those weekends that we can all celebrate. I'm hoping that's what's going to happen. I'm just going to get my phone because that is what I want to do. I want to check everything regarding United, and I'm hoping, it's a positive FA Cup weekend. I'm really hoping it's going to be anyway. I think, I want to win this trophy. I don't want Man United not walking away with anything. I want Man United to start lifting some more trophies now. And I'm hoping we're going to do it. I'm really hoping we are going to do it on Saturday afternoon. And I'm really hoping those players are going to produce massively in a Man United shirt. I'm praying it's going to happen. I'm really praying that, we are going to deliver on Saturday, and we are not going to be sat here disappointed with the outcome we get in that final. I'm hoping the Man United players know, what's at stake here. The future's at stake here. There's a lot of ifs, buts, and maybes that are going to be answered in this final. This is a momentous fixture. This is a momentous game for both sets of fans and supporters. The rivalry is up here this season because both Manchester sides have dominated English football. No other teams in the league or in English football this season have gone anywhere near a trophy except for the Manchester sides. And that says a lot about the momentum, the confidence, and the players these teams at Man United and Man City have got available to them. The amount of, talented players we've got on this team is completely nutty unbelievable. And a massive shout out to Emrikai RL in the chat. Go and check out his channel. Go and check out his videos. Go and check out his content. His stuff is very, very good. He's up there for one of the best on YouTube. So go and check out his channel. Go and check out UK Paul's channel as well. And Talent Williams Umaren as well. Go and check out his channel. All their content, all their videos are very, very good. They're up there with elite level. So, yeah, massive shout out to all of them in the chat. And let's hope Man United, produce on Saturday. They know what's at stake here. Win the FA Cup. You've won 2 trophies in one season that no one expected you to deliver. It's another point to prove, not just to the press, but to the media, the rival fans, the rival supporters, our rival teams that come up against us saying, we're not lying down anymore. We're going to take the game to you. The fear factor is coming back. And we are going to produce something that you're not expecting. And I think Man United have got that in abundance. And I think, like UK Paul said in the chat, if United have beaten them at home this season at Old Trafford, there's no reason why not. This game's not another Man United win. And I think we can do it. I do believe that United have got it in them to produce. And I'm hoping the players are up for the fight. They're up for the task. And they're up for the 90-minute hellhole it's going to be. This 90 minutes is probably going to be the most craziest 90 minutes we've seen all season. This is our last game of the season. This will be our last game. And I'm hoping that last game is going to be a trophy lift. I want to sit there and celebrate like mad with all of you Man United fans and other Man United supporters. I want to be sat there celebrating with all of you, all in spirit, on this reaction Saturday. And I'm hoping we're all going to get what we want. And that is United win. We win the FA Cup. We beat Man City convincingly. We get the job done in 90 minutes. And hopefully we don't go to the dreaded night extra time and then, the dreaded penalty shootout. Let's hope that doesn't happen. But anything can happen in the FA Cup. I think the team Ten Hag will probably go with on Saturday will be De Gea in goal. Probably Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Varane and Luke Shaw in the back 4. The midfield 3 will probably be the same. Eriksen, Casemiro and Fernandes. And I think the front 3 for me is probably going to be Sancho because of Anthony Martial's injuries. Up front, I think they'll deploy Rashford down the middle. And I think Garnacho will then be on the left. I think that's probably what the United team's going to be in the starting 11. I think the bench options will probably be Jack Butland, Scott McTominay, Fred, Pellistri, Zidane Iqbal, Elanga, probably Harry Maguire. I think that's probably the main bench options to try and get, and probably Weghorst as well. I don't think United are going to be able to make a lot of changes in the second half. I think you're going to have to stick with the same lineup, not just in the first half, but in the second half as well. Because if you look at that bench and you look at the options you've got on that bench, does it give you confidence? Not really. Does it give you the morale and trying to improve things? Not really. Can you trust that bench to be able to produce in the second half when there's no attacking quality on it? Not really. There's a lot of players we could have done with. Donny van der Beek's a big miss. So is Lisandro Martinez, Anthony as well, Anthony Martial, Marcel Sabitzer. We could have done with all 5 of them being available. And I'm gutted for all of them because, they've all got an opportunity, all 5 of them, to win a second trophy at Man United. And I think, that's a very, very good positive thing that all those players will get a medal if we win that trophy. And I'm hoping we will. I'm really, really hoping on Saturday afternoon that United fans are going to be sat there celebrating together as a community, as a channel, as a fan base, as a supporters base. I'm really, really hoping that United do produce on Saturday. And I'm hoping we win. I'm really, really hoping we are going to get the outcome we want. And let's hope it does. Let's hope we do get, what we are all wanting, what we all would like to happen. I'm hoping that's what we get. But you never know, Manchester United. You never know what the morale's like, what the team's atmosphere is going to be like Saturday. Will there be nerves? Of course there will. There will be anxiety. There'll be nails bit into the core. This is a must-win game. We cannot let Man City rewrite history. And let's hope they don't, because otherwise Manchester City are just going to run away with elite football. And they'll probably do it all over again next season because they are on another planet compared to every other team in Europe at the moment. Man City are incredible. They are an incredible team with an incredible set of players on the bench as well as in the starting 11. They've got a quality world-class manager. They've got quality world-class owners that run the club properly. And they're doing things by the book. But we have to stop this Saturday. We need to stop them in their tracks, put their handbrake fully on, and let's lock our position in and go for it. Let's try and say, you know what, every other rival, we're on our way back. Man United are feared to be feared again. We're not here to be messed with. Let's hope United produce. Let's hope they give us the result and the outcome we all want. I want Man United to win that trophy. I think all Man United fans, all other Man United supporters want the same as well. We all want the same thing, unless that's that team, those players, that squad, our manager, Erik ten Hag, win that game, win the FA Cup, and win trophy number 2 in season 1. So, I hope you enjoyed the FA Cup final preview. Remember to hit the like button, the share button. Please keep subscribing to United Red Devils 20 on YouTube. Remember to share the video, hit the tweet button, hit the retweet button. Remember to always go and put that notification bell on all times to receive dedicated content right throughout the rest of 2023 on United Red Devils 20 on YouTube. We've got more Fortnite comment, Hogwarts Legacy, Kingdom Hearts 4, FIFA 23 Career Mode, Rocket League, Football Manager, F1 23, more previews, more reactions, transfer news regarding Man United players in and Man United players out right throughout the 2023 summer transfer window. And obviously then, please join me for the action Saturday, which hopefully is a Man United win. Man United win the FA Cup. Man United beat Man City in that final on Saturday afternoon. It's a 3 o'clock kickoff. It's both live on the ITV and BBC One channels, so we can all watch the game live together. Let's hope we win the trophy. Join me for reaction Saturday evening, which hopefully means Man United win the Emirates FA Cup. We beat Man City in that final, and we win trophy number 2 in season 1 under Erik ten Hag. Stay safe, be nice, be kind to each other. You're all legends. You're all legendary. Please keep subscribing to the channel. Go and check out my other socials. I'm on TikTok. I am also on Twitter on both of them. So if you want to go and give me a follow on both of them, just follow me, send me a friend request, and then both of them will then lead you right to this channel on YouTube. Spread the word about this channel. Become moderators, become manager moderators or standard. We'll be giving out, subscriptions in the future once we hit that magic 4-digit number, hopefully. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday evening, whatever you're all doing. You're all legends. You're all legendary. Stay safe, be nice, and be kind to each other. Let's just hope Man United do it on Saturday evening. Win the FA Cup. Win trophy number 2 in season 1 under Erik ten Hag. You're all amazing. You're all legends. You're all legendary. Thanks for watching. Peace.